When you open the box and you look at the components for the first time, you'll probably feel like, wow, this game looks good. I mean, you have a mounted map that represents the area where the battle will take place, and it kind of looks nice. You have these plastic tiles that you will use to build the buildings that will be in the battle, and the monster will destroy and move around them. At the bottom of these plastic tiles you have the rubbles that will take the place of the building once a building has been destroyed. Just nice looking and cool components. You have pretty good looking, I think, military units that of course will harass the protagonists of the game. And then you have, it goes without saying, these four super nice, super cool looking figurine representing the monsters that the players will maneuver. They just look nice. However, the problem is that as you set up the game and you start playing it, you realize that there are aspects of these components that have been designed without keeping playability and ease of play in mind. There are aspects of these components that will definitely make gameplay awkward. For example, these plastic tiles here look totally good. I like the effect that they create on the map, but simply there are not enough of those to build every scenario that you find in the scenario book. So in many cases you will find yourself using these much less attractive cardboard tiles to represent one-story buildings, so that you have enough, well, these are the ones to build the multi-story buildings. And beside the fact that it doesn't look as good to have to mix building plastic buildings and cardboard buildings, these cardboard buildings just tend to disappear in the map when they're placed behind larger and taller buildings. So you really have to stand up and look at the map from above if you want to be able to tell where every building is. The military units look good at first sight, but they tend to blend with the background a little, and again, since they are so flat, they will completely disappear once they start moving between buildings. So actually what we do, we substitute those military units with plastic military units from other games, and that makes things much easier. The Rubble side of the tiles looks good, but then it is hard to balance the figurines on top of those. They tend to fall over. Rodan, represented by this figurine here, also has a terrible balance problem. Because unless you balance Rodan against a building, like I'm doing here, there is almost no way to have that figurine stand. It has just been designed completely out of balance. Pretty much everywhere you place him on the map, unless you spend some time, it will just keep falling over. You just have to find, like here, a good angle, a good position on the map. But even then, you really then have to be careful because it tends to fall very easily. And of course, it is annoying that you have to keep having to position him vertically, and then to make sure that nobody breathes too heavily when playing around him. So it is just disappointing to find out that components that look so good at first will actually make gameplay a little more awkward and a little less smooth than you thought at first.